Now, after weeks of raw revelations in the papers, yesterday the Harry and Meghan biography, Finding Freedom, finally hit the shelves. And the authors have revealed that they did, in fact, talk to the couple when appropriate, as well as to their close friends and colleagues. Well, now fans have the chance to read this version of the Duke and Duchess's story for themselves. And when I interviewed one of the authors, Omid Scobid, yesterday, he said that was exactly his intention. When reading through this book, there are some really intimate moments that you mentioned, such as their courtship. How do you get those sorts of details?
We have to remember, as members of the royal family, they are surrounded by a number of different people. Information is shared everywhere. And so it's our job as royal correspondents to really get these details. And more importantly, I wanted the book to sort of rehumanise them as a couple, because I felt at times they had been really treated like anything but. And so I hope that what people take away from the book is a more balanced and more human portrait of the Sussexes.
So Omid talks a lot there about wanting to humanise the royals, but has that worked? Well, I'll talk to you first, Stacey. Do you feel more sympathy for them now?
I honestly don't feel any differently about them. I always feel like with these kinds of books, you either approve it or you don't. So when somebody says, oh, they're speculated to have, approved all of this and said, yes, this is what we think, to me, that just it isn't good enough. Unless they come out and say, we absolutely stand by this book, this is word for word how we feel. To me, it's just another fantasy novel about the royal family. And I think there's been so many of them written. Sometimes I actually would rather not read it and not know. I think what they want us to know, they'll tell us. What they contest is obviously things that they feel are not true. So I don't think there's anything in there that has upset them or has painted them in a light that they don't want. But I also don't know if everything in there is straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Janet, what do you think?
I thought the tone of the book was really like Silvercrin, that gushing column in Private Eye. I mean, quite honestly, I read some of the serialisation. I can't be bothered to read the book. I don't want that kind of pap to clog up my brain. I mean, Harry and Meghan, if they did cooperate with the book, I think it's a bit of a PR disaster for them. I don't see it as really enhancing their status as a couple to be taken seriously if they want a new life on the world stage, making important pronouncements. And the book has got some amazingly banal details in it, like Archie was born with his eyes open. I mean... And things like Charles is now a second father, to Meghan. And I just think, well, that's completely disrespectful to her own father, who she's having, she's engaged in a legal battle with her own father at the moment. And I just think that with this kind of book, I personally think they should have distanced themselves from it.
But they haven't said that they've been involved in it, though. They've been at pains to say, actually, they were not spoken to for it.
You're saying that they say they didn't speak to the author, but the man, the author you spoke to yesterday, said he did speak to them.
When appropriate.
But what does when appropriate mean? Just when appropriate, you're standing in a crowd outside an event where they're walking through the door and you're going, here, Meghan, can I have a quote? Like journalists do. Is that when appropriate?
Yeah.
I mean...
I have to say, for once, Janet, I'm not agreeing with you, because I love this. I think, I've always been a supporter of Harry and Meghan, and I've always been the person that's saying, let them be in love, let them enjoy their newfound marriage and enjoy that beautiful baby.
Yeah, but the book... will the book change what you think about them anyway?
You're going to get three different types of people with this book. You're going to get the people like me who are supporters. You're going to get the haters, which you always got.
I'm not a hater.
I'm not. I did not direct it. You're going to get the haters, and then you're going to get the curious who don't know, can't make their mind up either way. I think you're a bit more curious than a hater.
Well, Charlene, I don't think...
Go on, Stacey. Let's bring Stacey in. Go on, Stacey.
Charlene, can I ask, have you met Harry and Meghan?
Now, I haven't I haven't officially met them, but I did cover the wedding. I did cover the royal wedding, and I wore this very outfit. But when I saw her in the flesh, when they went past in that carriage, it was the most amazing moment. I actually lost the ability to talk, which is really embarrassing.
You can't sit in that chair and not be embarrassed. So I've ordered the clip. We are going to show it to viewers. It's part of your initiation ritual. Here it is.
The moment that everyone here has waited hours for is here. I'm watching watching Meghan and Harry go past.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Now I'm calling you Meghan. Charlene, Meghan.
The problem was that I saw her face and in that beautiful dress and that wonderful veil, and I just couldn't talk. She was just gorgeous.
Yes.
And that never happened.
Charlene, do you think that they've been unfairly portrayed in the media? I mean, you read the news every day, so you see what's being written and what's being said about her. Do you think that she gets particularly a hard time?
Well, I think the problem, not the problem, but the issue is when you are a member of the royal family, you are going to be written about. And that's happened for generations where they're concerned. And it's the way, I guess, that they deal with it. And if they feel that they're able to.
Do you think that the way she's been spoken about has been derogatory towards her specifically? So the royals get written about all of the time, but do you notice a difference with the way she gets spoken about?
Well, I guess in some quarters, some people have been a bit harsh on her, but I think that was always going to happen because Harry was the baby of the family, and people, I think, feel an affinity with Harry, want to make sure that he's doing all right, and I think they were always likely to come down quite harshly on her. And so, yeah, I'd say they probably haven't always been fair. And that's what Omid was saying when I spoke to him yesterday.
Do you think possibly Meghan is a missed opportunity for the royal family? It was a real opportunity for them to be a bit more relatable.
Well, I know when I saw her and when I lost the ability to talk, I think I sort of thought, this is incredible. We've got someone like her who hasn't been in a modern royal family before, and it could be a really big moment for us to see the royals in a slightly different way. And I think it was at a moment to see race in a slightly different way. And maybe that hasn't really happened.
But isn't it sad that it was an opportunity lost? And it seems with a book like this, it seems to be saying it's the royal family's fault, it's not her fault, because the book is so unashamedly pro-Harry and Meghan.
Well, you'll have to read all of it to be able to come to that conclusion,
no,
Janet.
Thank you.